For any country, either developed, developing, or underdeveloped, job creation is a major challenge for the governments. We often look upon technology to create jobs. But today, the advancement of technology in the areas of machine learning and automation, etc., produces quality outputs less dependent on human inputs. In this scenario, for a country like India, how is it possible to keep our vast human resources engaged? To enlighten us on the topic, we have here with us Mr. CHINTAN OZA, a global thought leader and tech scale-up specialist, who is also the current Vice President of PMI Mumbai chapter. On behalf of Pala Management Association, I extend a very cordial welcome to Mr. CHINTAN OZA. We also have with us our Vice Presidents, Dr. T.V. Murali Vallavan and Dr. Mahadevan. I welcome both of them to this gathering. Our Secretary Program, Colonel K.N.V. Achari, and Secretary Administration, Sri Tom Thomas Tekel, Secretary PR, I hope all of them will join, Rahul Pulikal. I welcome all of them to this meeting. And then we have our Treasurer, Sri Michael Joseph. And I welcome all the members and invited guests. Have a very nice evening. Now over to the President, Dr. Jubilant, for the presidential address and formal introduction of the chief guest. Over to you.
Yeah, I think our chief guest is having some joining issues, and he will
I'm
be
available.
Yeah, it's everything okay, right, sir?
Yeah.
Yeah, great from you, sir.
I'm using my mobile hotspot now.
Okay, great. Yeah. And now it's a great opportunity for us to join and hear a valuable speaker, Mr. CHINTAN OZA, today in an area which is very relevant to the society as well as the current system. As we discussed, the COVID scenario has changed our lives a lot, and the disruptive technologies are changing the system too. So we have a very updated speaker who is a renowned technocrat who is with us today. And thank Chintan ji for being with us and have sparing your valuable time with us. Also, about Pala Management Association, we are actively involving in various phases of development of Pala, as well as its suburbs, regarding the physical, managerial, as well as leadership areas, where we are trying to provide substantial leadership roles to improve the efficiency of the system, as well as the political, as well as technological leadership. We also try to give training to various organizations. We also provide training to various organizations, educational institutions, etc., and collaborate with various leading professional organizations in this arena to improve ourselves as well as develop the system. So for the past few years, along with the support from All India Management Association and also support rendered by Bombay Management Association, with the initiative by my dear friend Chintan sir, I am really happy and proud to improve the technical scenario of the basic scenario of Pala Management Association, as well as contribute something positively to the system. We have a wonderful team which is involving in each and every activities, positively contributing to all the activities happening, means initiated by Pala Management Association. So it's a great opportunity to work with all those people who are here and improve means connect with all of you. So let us come to the point. I mean, our topic, that is the future of jobs, future of jobs. Yes, We are in an environment where we hear that machines are about to rise. A lot of automation is coming in place, and our jobs are at stake. With the rise of disruptive technologies, there would be a shortage of jobs, and this can lead to a chaos. As directed by MIT Media Labs, Eric rightly said, technology is always creating the jobs and it's always destroying the jobs too. The talk today covers the overview to raise the technology, new jobs being created by the technology, and would be a forward path, and how can we gear up for this future of jobs. Let us have a roller coaster ride on future jobs. I'm proud to introduce Mr. Chintan Oza, who is a global thought leader, keynote speaker, adjunct faculty, and PMI Mumbai chapter vice president. Also, regarding his profile, uh, Mr. Chintan is a strategy and innovation managerial leader through his career span of 20 plus years with top two cognates in India, namely Tata Groups and Reliance Groups. We have worked with various projects, programs in the government, defense and private sectors. Mr. Chintan has expertise in the vast array of technologies which are disrupting today in business. We have worked on various technologies ranging from wireless, CDMA, GSM, EVDU, 3G, 4G, SWADN, blockchain, SAP, artificial intelligence, machine learning, data centers, and network structures and smart cities. The assignments have given him a vast exposure as pilot and scale-up specialist for business, strategy, and technological functions. His major career milestones include the program managing one of the world's fastest GSM network role and in a single geography, as well as partnering with India's first smart city project in the ICT partner. Mr. Chintan is an alumnus of Haas School of Business, UC Berkeley, and SJM SOM IIT Mumbai. He holds, excuse me, those who are, please make yourself silent. Sorry. Yes. He is a keynote speaker, adjunct faculty, and member of various technical committees. And Chintan is rightly engaged with various academic and universities, startups, technology standard bodies, etc. Recently, Chintan got recognized as one of the top 50 global thought leaders and influenced the blockchain and smart cities and 5G. For the past 2 years, myself and Chintanji is closely associated with various researchers regarding blockchain, as well as we together are means judging some international hackathons which are actively supporting the students. I sincerely welcome the Chintan sir to this program, and now I recognize your presence, and the floor is yours, sir. Please.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Dr. Jubilant, and all esteemed members of Pala Management Association. A very good evening to all. Just a sound check. I hope I am audible. There are certain bandwidth issues at my end, so there was a glitch initially. So sorry for that. Now we are back in action. So I hope my voice is audible clearly. I mean,
Yes, perfect, perfect, sir.
great. Okay, so now let us begin our talk today, and I will share my screen. No, if you can just help, I mean, enable
Uh,
screen share for myself.
yeah, 1 minute, 1 minute.
Yeah, sure.
Aravinji, can you please make Chintanji co-host? Aravinji? Yeah, please, sir. I think it's okay for you now.
Yes, now I'm able to do that. Okay, so here we go. Let me know when you are able to see my screen.
Yes, clear, sir. Visible.
Great, great. So let's get going. And here we are. I have been adequately introduced. However, I would just like to add one point. I am a regular blood donor. I have donated blood for 34 times. I would also encourage everyone to donate blood. Thank you so much for your time. Let's get started. So this is going to be our agenda for the day. We will understand what has been disrupted, the new jobs on the horizon, and then what is the forward path. Now, for fans of cricket, what this guy is doing, if you can just unmute yourself and say what this batsman is doing. I mean, I'm sure that there are a couple of fans of cricket
Taking
and
guard.
we all taking.
Guard. Taking guard.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, that's true. That's true. Anyone else? Hello?
He's aligning his bat and himself to the point from where the ball is going
Yes.
to be
And when do they?
released.
Yes. And when do they do this thing?
At the
Just
time,
before starting batting. Just before starting batting.
Just before starting batting, and they do it once again as well. When do they do that?
When they change
When they
bowling
score
change.
a
When bowling
century.
change or left arm, right arm bowler
Yes.
arrive.
Yes.
so he
Yes. So, and
changes,
most of the
he changes and
popular
aligns
WhatsApp.
himself to the ball whenever a bowler is changed, or the
True.
position of the release of the ball is going to be changed. So, which is going to hit him.
Exactly. So the future of job is somewhere connected to this. So as and when there is a change in environment, you try to align and realign yourself so that you are able to
That's it.
hit the ball with the better strength, right? So this is where we are, and we will start our session with a survey. This is going to be interesting survey. I am pasting the link of this survey in the chat box. Kindly fill it up. It doesn't take more than a minute for all of us to fill in, and then once the time is up, we would also have a look at the what you call the results immediately.
Sir, did you post it in chat?
I'm just pasting it, sir. Now it should appear. Has it come?
Yes.
Okay. So I would request to everyone to kindly fill up the survey. It is 7:48. We will wait until 7:50. It will not take more than a minute for everyone.
See,
It's just to
which one?
capture what do we think about future of jobs. Uh, and in case if you see that okay fine there are senior people also available in this group, has your job been disrupted? So if you are a retired person, then consider that job of people around you. Do you think that their job has been disrupted?
So, there's only one link which is seen.
Sir, the poll is not shared, sir.
So, only one link is seen on the screen. Let's
No, you have to go to
My
chat.
presentation.
You have to
Only
go
the
to
slide is
chat.
visible.
Which one?
You can go to chat, see that link, click on that, and it will lead you to that page.
Let me stop share so that there is no confusion.
Okay.
Now please go to the chat and you will get the link for the survey. Meanwhile, I'll have an eye on the response window so that we'll be able to capture that what do we all think. And it will be interesting for you to understand your feedback vis-a-vis what others think. We are not capturing name, email, or anything, so please feel free to share whatever you think in this survey.
Yeah, done it.
Okay, we have got 2 responses.
You can go to the chat box, click it, and you will get a form, Google form, where you can proceed with it. Even
3
if you are
people
in
have finished.
in your mobile, you can do it.
4 people have finished this. It is very easy. It doesn't take much of your time, but it will generate interesting viewpoint that what do we think about future of jobs. So we have 4 responses until now. Five responses. Is anyone having any challenge in opening the survey? Please let me know. 6 responses. We are 34. So please fill up. Seven people have filled up the survey. 8. Please hurry up. We have a lot to cover in today's presentation. 9 people have filled up the survey. Please hurry up. Eleven responses. Please hurry up. 16 responses. We'll wait. We are how many? 35 people are there. We'll not wait more, but kindly hurry up and finish the survey, please. Already 16 people have submitted. We'll wait for another 4 and then I would share the results. 17 people. Please hurry up and complete the survey. $18 people. Thank you, Mrs. Suresh Babu, for completing the survey. Safe Zone has also completed the survey. Thank you so much for completing the survey. 19 responses. We'll wait for one more and then I would share the results. It would be good to understand and different perspective, what we are thinking, what our friends are thinking, and on the same topic, right? So, okay, here we go. I'm sharing my screen once again, and we will have a look at the survey now. Survey results. Let me know when you are able to see my screen. People who are filling up the survey, kindly continue to do that. Please do not abandon, because I don't want to waste your effort. Finish up filling up the survey. It will take hardly a minute or less than that even. Okay, so here we are. We have got 22 responses out of 35 people. And this is the age group mix, which is fairly distributed. I mean, we have got people between 21 to 30, around 22%. We have got 27%, 60 plus. We've got one person who is below 20. We've got three people with 31 to 40, five people around 41 to 50, and we have got two people between 50 to 60 also. So it is a fairly distributed mix of responses we are going to see in the next answers. So the question was, are you concerned, curious about future of jobs? 72% said yes, we are concerned and curious, while six people said, oh no, I don't think, I mean, that's fine. Probably they are into some profession which is not getting disrupted. Has your job been disrupted? So that is where, if you are a senior, maybe 60 plus, then consider job of people around you. So if you look at this, answer is almost 17 people, 73.9%, 74% say no, their job has not been disrupted. This is something interesting. So people think that yes, their job has not been disrupted. How fast do you think your job could be disrupted? So that is also interesting thing. 30% feel that no, I don't think my job would be disrupted ever. 26% said yes, next 5 years. Next 2 to 3 years, again 21%. And then only 21.7% feel that their job is already disrupted. What has or may disrupt your job? Almost 39% feel none of above. Not the pandemic, not the global economic situation, not the automation is going to disrupt our job. And that is something interesting insight. Did you refresh or enhance your skills during lockdown? 78% says yes, we learned some new thing during the lockdown. Again, another interesting insight. Who is primarily responsible for your skill upgrade? We all believe it's us who are responsible for upkeep and refresh of our skills. Due to disruption in your current industry domain, you intend to diversify into another industry domain. Like software has got a lot of layoffs, so I will leave software industry and I'll go to teaching. I don't think I'm enjoying here, let me go and start my own startup, or if I'm in startup, I'll try to go and take up a job. So almost it's 50-50. However, almost 53% people feel that no, they are not likely to change the industry domain they are in. Another interesting insight. How often do you undergo training? And then almost 35% people said annually. So training has been an annual activity for them, while almost equal 26% people say they learn something new every month. So this is an interesting mix here. Who requests training for you? 74% they initiate the training for themselves. How do you gain new knowledge? Almost everyone. And look at this, no one is referring or preferring to classroom training. Almost everyone who is trying to gain new knowledge is opting for online training. Almost 17% say book, and almost 3% are saying that we go to YouTube and try to learn new things. So if you sum total this 69 and this 13%, almost 83% people are relying on online mode internet to gain new knowledge. Have you updated your resume recently? Almost 56% says yes, I have updated my resume. Do you like work from home? 56% says yes, I like work from home. And this is last but not the least interesting insight. 34%, 35% says I wouldn't retire ever. So they intend to continue to work. It means they are equally curious and interested to learn more about the future of work, future of jobs. So let me switch over to the presentation now. So, would anyone wish to share a reaction? What is on top of your mind? What is it that you felt while taking up the survey, while looking at the result of the survey? Would anyone like to unmute and comment?
Survey was very interesting, but I think this survey is irrelevant for government sector jobs.
Right. So
There is
government
a
is also doing a lot of modernization.
So people generally acknowledge that there is a disruption, and also they realize that the skills need to be updated. So there is a need for continued learning.
So that's
Okay, great. So, yeah.
yeah. What I think is maybe in the beginning people were a bit panicking. They didn't know what to do, what would happen, and how long would it last. But people took the cue, and immediately they started changing. That's what I personally feel. Now, all these online, it was really unknown to the people, maybe everywhere in India, same way in Kerala too. But people started changing very, very fast. So I think that's why we got such a result. And now I also personally feel even after the pandemic gets over, this online meetings and online training will continue. That's what I feel. So people have to be better equipped to face the future using online.
Thank you, Mr. George. And now let's get going. So we live in a world where doctors are mastering coding, finance professionals are learning programming, finance professionals are also using AI to understand their customer. Management professionals are also learning. So we come from an environment where technology was a primarily job of an engineer, a technology professional. But now in current environment, technology has taken a center stage where everyone, any business model is dependent on technology. And this is happening across the domain. If you look at healthcare sector, there are a lot of machines, there is a lot of automation which is happening, wherein they are supposed to understand the technology parameters to program those machines at least. And that is how our reliance and our dependence on technology is increasing day by day. Now think of a scenario just a decade ago. If someone said that, I saw a video where a face of a human was, I mean, it was a transplant. He had a face transplant. Then people will say, "Oh, please don't throw all this thing. I mean, let's not joke. Don't tell me all this bullshit." But now, in today's parlance, if we are looking at various videos on YouTube, if we are looking at various videos on WhatsApp, and then if we see certain things which probably we are looking at for the first time, but we are now willing to believe that yes, probably it may be possible, right? So the scenario has changed. Our trust on technology is increasing day by day, and that is how the scenario is changing. A research report by an Australian firm, it says that 65% of kids in preschool today would be employed in job that does not exist today. So when you say preschool, it is below first standard. Those kindergartens, senior KG, junior KG, and all these kids, 65% of them would be employed in a job which does not exist today. So this is going to be the future. Another research report by Dell Technologies, it says 85% of jobs that will exist in 2030 haven't been invented yet. This report was in 2019 end, and please understand in 2020 it was really a catalyst year wherein digital transformation and adoption of digital technologies was accelerated to a greater extent. In the month of April 2020, Satya Nadella, the CEO of Microsoft, has mentioned that we saw 2 years worth of digital transformation in 2 months time. And please mind it, he said this in April 2020. It is listed on Microsoft website. He said it as a press conference. And April 2020 was a time when the pandemic had just begun. And then afterward, we have seen a lot of adoption of digital transformation. Which are the job titles that did not exist just a decade ago? iOS and Android developer. Android and iOS came in 2011. Earlier, there was no Android iOS developer. Zumba instructor. No one knew what is Zumba dancing. And then social media manager. Probably we never in 2011, we never felt that you need someone else to manage your social media. Data scientists, we never heard. We had EDP and MIS managers, but we never had a data scientist doing certain advanced predictions, advanced calculations, and making certain predictions. We were not so dependent upon the digital assets. So having a UI UX designer was out of question. Big data wasn't also not available. There wasn't any uniforms or accessibility of cloud compute or internet. So having a big data architect was out of question. Beach body coach, this is a fusion of sports medicine, wellness coach, as well as a gym trainer, and they call it beach body coach. So that is another new profession which was not available just a decade ago. Cloud services specialists are cloud architects. I mean, we never heard of AWS or Azure maybe in 2010. So that is where it wasn't, they weren't available in our geography or the world around us. Digital marketing manager, forget social media. Businesses never thought of generating business using LinkedIn, Facebook, and other internet mediums. Uber and Ola weren't around. Airbnb wasn't there. We never thought that if you have 2 rooms extra, you can rent it out randomly to guests and earn extra income from it. So this is the way the technology has transformed our life in last decade. But when COVID hit us in 2020, the COVID pandemic was out of syllabus. All of us were caught off the guard, and we had a different scenario to cope up. No one was prepared for a 80% shutdown of global GDP. We never imagined that all the aircrafts would be parked at the airport. We never imagined that train across India could be stopped. We never imagined certain things. And then COVID has actually disrupted our life. And now we are entering in a vaccination phase. So this is a positive way. But in this phase, what has been disrupted? Three things has been disrupted drastically: work, worker, and workplace. We will see how worker and workplace has been disrupted. This is a longer presentation, but in the interest of the time and audience, I have actually cut it short. I'll try to cover a couple of things here and there. And now let us move on. So how does the future of jobs look like now? Due to recent rise in automation, algorithms, intelligence, and pandemic, 85 million jobs have been lost globally. But by 2025, another 97 million new jobs are being created. So it means that certain jobs have been made redundant. People do not want those roles right now in their respective business. And by 2025, 6% of workforce is likely to get replaced. It means that 6% of the workforce wouldn't be required. There would be new people with the new skill sets who would be joining the workforce. Overall, 1 in 2 workers would need reskilling. For the existing retained workers, a refresh of 40% of the skill set would be required to get refreshed. And that would create a huge gap in demand and supply, leading to unemployable workforce. If we do not refresh our skills, we would be part of this unemployable workforce. By 2025, 70% of workforce would be required to learn new skills to take on jobs of the future. Transition to the new role would require minimum period of 6 weeks. So once you upgrade your skills and your employer puts you in a new job, minimum period of 6 weeks would be required for anyone to transition to a new role. Government, industry, and academia can jointly collaborate and provide a safety net to these displaced workers and prepare them for to be part of the new workforce to take on the jobs of the future. So all of us can join, participate, and contribute so that at least people around us are learning new skills and they are able to stay relevant in the time to come. Let us have a look at the workforce mix in 2022 itself. This is a result. I mean, this result summary is from a survey published by Fickey and Ernst and Young. It says that 9% of the workforce would be deployed in new jobs that do not exist today. And this is, please understand, this is just in 2022 only. Mr. Vijayan, if you can mute yourself, please. Another interesting parameter is 37% of the workforce would be deployed in jobs that have radically changed skill sets. And third interesting parameter is 54% of the workforce will fall under unchanged job category. So in 2022 itself, these are the three interesting stats. Only 54% would of the workforce would continue to do what they are doing today. So this is the way, but then think of 46%. 46% of the people wouldn't be doing what they are doing today. So this is where the entire industry dynamics is changing. And what are the new jobs on the horizon? Let us have a quick overview on the same. Next generation connect. We already know that 5G is coming up in a big way in India. Airtel has already launched 5G services in the city of Hyderabad. Geo is Mr. Vijayan, if you can put yourself on mute, please. Geo is likely to come up with 5G services in second half of Mr. Vijayan, if you can mute yourself. Geo is rolling out 5G services in second half of 2021. So entire mobility spectrum, the way we access internet, the speed at which we access the internet, and the various use cases like smart homes, smart cities, smart factories, smart farms, entire spectrum would change. We would be capable of accessing internet uh, at any given place of time, at any given place. We would be able to make devices talk to each other, and that is where there would be new lot of solution architects which would be in demand. Data strategist, we saw data scientists, but here is a lot of data strategies. All the industries are sitting on a mountain of data. We call data is the new oil, but now again these data strategies would come in as a profession, as a new profession, who would be deciding that what kind of data needs to be preserved, up to what extent, what data needs to be stored locally, what kind of data needs to be stored in cloud, what kind of data needs to be stored for machine learning, for artificial intelligence. And that is where all the organizations would employ data strategies to devise and customize their data strategies. Edge compute, because of rise of 5G, high speed internet with low latency would be uniformly available. That would enable various use cases like smart cities, smart supply chain, use of robots in supply chain, smart factories which would manufacture goods 24 by 7, and there are other use cases. So edge compute architects would be in high demand. Deception agents, uh, we all have started using Cybersecurity, recognizing cybersecurity as one of the major focus area in various industries. And now it is next level. We are using AI with cybersecurity to make sure that we are better protected, and then we are able to guard our organization knowledge, our IPR, our customer data, and such. But now with use of AI, we would be having a capability to mitigate the attacks before they occur, and that is where new profession of deception agents would be in place. Quantum compute solution specialist. Can anyone name name of our first supercomputer which was indigenously built by our country? What was the name of the supercomputer?
Param.
Yes, it was Param. And then uh, our country had to wait for 15 years to manufacture our own supercomputer. But now the entire industry scenario has changed. With help of AWS, Azure, Google Cloud, we are able to access quantum computer. AWS, Google, and Microsoft have launched quantum compute as a service. So we need not invest into capex of building a quantum computer. But if you have a definitive use case and you have certain amount of requirement wherein quantum compute is required, then using AWS or Azure or Google Cloud, you would be able to access a quantum computer and then make use of it. Our government, our Niti Aayog has recently launched a lab with help of AWS, and this lab focuses on use of quantum computers. So you can just go to the internet and check out and learn more about what new use cases which are likely to come up in this year. Simulation specialist, use of virtual reality, augmented reality, mixed reality is growing up multifold. Virtual reality was earlier initially used in entertainment and gaming, but now industrial use cases of virtual reality has grown. People in defense, armed forces, law enforcement have started using virtual reality to a greater extent. Construction companies have started using virtual reality tools to train their workforce. For example, L&T is using virtual reality to a greater extent. So once the project is over and their civil workforce is getting shifted to another site, they also need to get trained about the project scope, the requirement of the customer, and the local environment in which the project needs to be executed. Their customized training are now being delivered in virtual reality environment. Police force and armed forces are using virtual reality to maneuver a UAV which is flying around 1,000 kilometers away from a control station. The picture what you are seeing right now in front of you is such a control room wherein a UAV is flying to some 1,000 miles remote location, a rogue location, and all these soldiers are using the various cameras of the drone, and then they are trying to fight a war and control the enemy. Crypto evangelist, with rise of blockchain, all the crypto use cases, the entire crypto economy would be on the rise. We have heard a lot about Bitcoin, but Bitcoin is just one use case. Blockchain can help you monetize your music, it can help you monetize your art. Blockchain can help you trace your food from farm to your fork. Blockchain can help you what you call uh, use in diamond industry, so that you make sure that you are buying the right diamond, you are buying the authentic diamond. It can help you control counterfeits. So there are various types of use cases of blockchain, and crypto would be on the rise. So that is where the entire ecosystem of crypto evangelists would be developed in next 2 to 5 years time itself. Rapid transit planners, we all know that our urban mobility is getting transformed. Many class 2 and class 3 cities are now getting access to uh, what you call metro, and that is how the entire urban mobility is changing. Recently, Reliance has also purchased a controlling stake in a company called Skytrans. Our city from Mumbai to Pune, we are likely to get a hyperloop service. Between Mumbai and Ahmedabad, we are likely to get a bullet train. Such as once these pilot projects are executed, then replica of these projects would get executed in other parts of the country. So entire urban planning, urban transit system is getting a revamp, and that is where various types of civil engineering professionals, structural engineering professionals, electromechanical engineers would be in high demand. Drone pilots and drone fleet engineers, all of us have seen drone use cases. Our Konkan Railway is using drones. They have programmed drone that flies almost 1.5 kilometer away from the train, and then continuously this drone helps the pilot to monitor the health of the track, and the train follows the drone, and that enhances the safety of the passenger in the sections of various ghats and certain rogue areas. So that is how various drones are being used. In fact, drones are also being used to inspect bridges and the chimneys of various factories. Now, with a higher number of drones being deployed in the industry, we would also need engineers who would be supervising and monitoring the fleet of drones. So that is where drone fleet engineer would be a new profession in the industry by 2022 itself. V-commerce managers right now, because of the pandemic and the vaccination rollout, the v-commerce is it is at halt. But once all of us are vaccinated, probably we would not be investing in capex. The culture would have changed. We wouldn't be investing into buying office spaces, but we would be working in a hybrid environment, wherein we would be hiring your office for a temporary basis, 1 to 3 months, 6 months, 1 year time temporarily, and then we may be vacating the office. So again, there would be a boom for various co-working places, and that is how v-commerce managers, people who would be managing these kind of facilities, would be in demand. Apart from we work, there is also a new um, business which is we live, and that is where all the professionals who are single, who are having family in some other city, students, are again getting better facility, and these are the kind of service apartments for working professional and students, and that is how the entire v-commerce would get a refresh in next 2 years time. The picture what you are seeing is a robocop, and these robocops are right now patrolling streets of San Francisco. The name of the robocop is Night Scope. This robo can monitor the speed. It has got cameras to recognize the face. It has got cameras to read the number plate. It has got internet connectivity, which gets connected to the law enforcement server, and then in case if any violation, they are able to uh, make a ticket and then collect the fine from the citizen using credit card as well. So these are the robos of future. These are the cops of the future. And mind it, the scenario is such right now that a human is supervising around 8 to 10 robots in a area, in a locality, and that is how The entire law enforcement is changing. Robots are being deployed. Just make a note of the name Night Scope, and you can have a look at these robots and learn more about this. As you can see, autonomous neighborhood crime watch, and then they have shared the picture of the robo. Our favorite movie, Robo, wherein Rajnikant acted as a Chitti, had a scene wherein multiple small robos creates a big, huge robo, and that Chitti is again becomes. I mean, Chitti becomes an undestructible robo, and it is a huge character in itself. So we still are in a very primitive stage of self-assembling robo swarm, but these robo swarms would be used in medicine by 2025, wherein a, a small robo can be inserted in human through a capsule, and once the robo gets into the capsule, I mean the body of the human, it would start transmitting signals, and then the doctors would be able to control and maneuver the robo in certain way, so that the various types of diagnosis and surgeries can be done, and ultimately once the task is over, the robo can be, it can get through our biological waste route. Autonomous mobility, we have heard a lot on autonomous vehicle. Tesla has completed more than 1.5 million kilometers of drive in US on autonomous pilot mode. They've also driven a car from San Francisco to New York. Have a look at the video, and it is indeed an interesting video. By 2025, we would have lot many autonomous vehicles running on our street. By 2023, it is likely that autonomous fleet vehicles would be deployed in campuses, wherein these autonomous vehicle would ferry the passenger from point A to point B at a regular time of interval. And that is how we are going to have the entire new ecosystem, which will have sales, business development, engineering, maintenance, project manager, and whatnot. You will get an entire new ecosystem. Apart from we have trusted autopilot mode at 40,000 feet. Now is the time that we should also start having autopilot mode in shipping industry. Having autonomous pilot mode in shipping industry would help reduce the risk to human life, would help reduce the health dangers to the human life, the crew, and that is where autonomous shipping is taking shape, wherein these ships are connected to a controlling center via satellite, and the controlling center, the operation center, is able to maneuver the ship from point A to point B. And please mind it, the trials of autonomous shipping has already begun. Within this decade, we would see that there may be a autonomous ship sailing from Cochin to Dubai, and probably one of our relatives sitting in Cochin may be maneuvering this ship. So this is the way the entire uh, shipping industry is going to transform. Teleportation. Um, Narendra Modi is the first political leader who has tested teleportation in during Lok Sabha elections of 2014. Narendra Modi conducted a political rally at 100 locations simultaneously, around 110 to be specific. And at all these locations, people sitting in front of the screen felt that Narendra Modi is standing in front of them and having a conversation with them. So instead of looking at a 2D screen, the people, the audience, they saw a 3D avatar of Narendra Modi. This is just one use case wherein teleportation was used for a political campaign. Think of a religious leader, think of a celebrity who would be standing in front of you. Think of a TED talk wherein you would see some foreign celebrity delivering a talk, and then probably you are sitting in a theater and you would feel that the person is standing in front of you and that is a real person. So this is teleportation would be in general use by 2025. Space explorations, now Mumbai has got two companies who own a satellite in space. Various space tech startups are also having their presence in Kochi, Bangalore, Chennai. Our government and ISRO have started welcoming new startups in the space ecosystem, and that is where entire new professions of space explorers would be around us. 3D, 4D, and 5D printing. Many of us have seen our mobile phone covers. The back case are being printed by a 3D printer. Many advanced hospitals have started printing 3D printing the tooth implants, and that is how the industry has started adopting 3D, 4D, and 5D printers. The classroom has changed. Now we from a traditional classroom we upgraded to a digital classroom. The next generation classroom would offer a customized experiential learning to each of the student, wherein student would be actually undergoing that experience and then they would be learning. So there won't be any monologue in future, but there would be experiential learning. So the entire education ecosystem is also likely to undergo a huge change. Human augmentation, many of the citizens in Sweden are already having a implant under their skin. The size of the implant is half of a rice, and this implant carries their digital identity. So as and when they are required to swipe the card, they are just showing their finger, and then that is how they are able to implant various circuitry within the skin, beneath the skin, and then provide a secure ID or a secure access to the right person. Human augmentation would be a new technology to watch out for. If you have seen movie Iron Man, wherein a man is capable to fly to certain range, uh, then this is the technology which would help a person to fly to certain range. With right human augmentation gear, you would be able to throw a certain object at a speed of a 200 kilometer an hour. So there would be different type of human augmentation gear which would get developed. So try to Google and have a look at various videos in this domain. Energy storage experts, right now the world is moving away from fossil fuel. Couple of European countries have also switched from power generated from fossil fuel to renewable energy sources, and they have run the entire network, the power grid, for 1 day to 1 week on renewable energy. And that is how the adoption of renewable energy would be in place. However, these renewable energies have got certain limitations, like solar energy. You can generate power when the sun is around. Power generating stations do not operate when the sun goes down. So what do? Soon we would have such kind of installation at our areas which would store the excess energy generated by these power stations, and when the demand is low, or these power systems would start storing the energy, and as and when the sun goes down, these energy storage system would be powering our house and our businesses. So this is how the entire ecosystem is changing. Atmospheric water harvester, many African countries are having this atmospheric water harvester in remotest areas where we are not able to get potable water easily. Such installations are being made so that at least the atmosphere, I mean the moisture in the atmosphere is captured and it gets converted to water, and then water is purified and then supplied to a citizen. So there would be a new industry of atmospheric water harvesters, and we all have to learn a lot from this new profession. Urban agriculture is now, because of ongoing pandemic, we have started exploring vertical gardens in our workplaces and in our societies and our houses, wherein we intend to grow our own food ourselves. And that is how people with the right knowledge would be able to get into new businesses, new professions, wherein you may be inviting a farmer or son of a farmer to create a small garden on your terrace, in your gallery, or in your parking, which would help you grow your food in your premises itself. And that is how there would be a new profession of urban agriculturist which would be in demand. Tree technologies. So think of such a flower and you would like to pay additional money for getting these flowers. So these are the kind of new advanced biotechnology inventions which would create new type of products, new type of flowers which would be in demand. Lab grown meat. I know a Bollywood celebrity who is launching a lab grown meat brand in 2021. So with the rise of healthy, I mean need of healthy food and limited resource availability, as well as the challenges in the environment, quality of water, fertilizers, and all these things, we would be starting to consume lab grown food starting 2022 itself. We are already consuming various types of food packets which are like, I mean, in terms of cheetos, in terms of kurkure. These are the, I mean, factory grown foods. And then probably this is the time, by 2022 many of us would have tasted lab grown meat. Extinction revivalist. We have started racing to reach Mars. In last 3 months, three countries landed on the Mars, but 95% of our surface, which is covered by sea, we are yet to explore and learn from that what you call part of the earth. And that is where extinction survey revivalist people who are able to protect the species which are going to extend in near future would be in demand. Bioremediation experts. If you look at the plastics which is floating on the ocean, and then if there are various islands in the Atlantic and mid-Atlantic Ocean, and the size, overall size of the total plastic which is floating on the ocean is higher than three countries of Europe put together. One of the largest floating plastic island has got a area which is higher than the city of Paris. So these are the kind of eye-opening statistics. People who are in working in this industry are going to these islands, these floating plastic waste, and spraying bacteria which are eating away these plastics. So while these bacteria are being sprayed on this ocean plastic, they are also trying to recover this plastic and make products out of this recyclable plastic. Likes of Nike, Adidas, they have started manufacturing sport shoes, our what you call track suit and track pants, from the plastics which have been recovered from ocean. And this is one of the fashion in Hollywood. People are buying shoes and track suits which are made of plastic, and these plastics was recovered from ocean. So this is going to be a big industry wherein all of us can be part of it. Gene editors, many of you would have heard of CRISPR. CRISPR is a project which helps you to alter the defective gene so that at least certain health conditions and diseases are stopped from transmitting from one generation to another. And that is where we would become 2023, we would be having lot more testing advancement. In India, there is a company who is trying to uh, check, and then they are using various advanced technologies to check whether a person is going to have a cancer in future or not. Does his generation had cancer prior, and then is he likely to get cancer or not, and what is the probability of him having a cancer? And these kind of scenarios would help enhance our wellness. Senior living specialists, there are a lot many senior citizens on this earth now, and there would be a new ecosystem, new industry altogether, wherein people would get into this senior living spaces, and then they would be helping and assisting various senior citizens living in this infrastructure. Between Mumbai and Pune, there are a couple of habitats which have come up, and these habitats are focused on senior citizens living. And these I mean, they are kind of service apartments. They also have in-house hospital. They also have their own ambulance, and then a couple of senior citizens just go there and live there. So this is how the entire social fabric is also changing. And a senior living specialist would be a new profession in the time to come. All of us are creating a lot of digital footprint and a lot of digital data. Who should own the password of your email? Who should take control of your phone after you die? Who should get hold of your password for your net banking? Who should be given access to your photo gallery and your to your WhatsApp? So earlier in traditional environment, all of us used to make will, but now is the time that we should also decide that who should own your digital assets. And this is where digital inheritance managers are already on the horizon. There, there are two companies who are helping citizens to draft their will. It is no rocket science. It is just a mixture of legal technology and mobile apps, which is monitoring that whether the user is alive or not. Every 15 days, you are required to log in into certain system. If you do not log in within that specific 15 days, on 16th day, the service provider gives you a call to make sure that yes, you are alive. If you are alive, they will verify your credentials, and if you are alive, then again the clock is reset for the next 15 days. And that is how people are being monitored continuously, so that in their on-time unforeseen death event, their digital data, their digital footprint can be handed over to the right person, which has been authorized by the individual. So this is how the entire new profession of digital inheritance manager would come up. What is just a time check quickly, Dr. Jubilant? How are we doing on the time? While I am
Yes,
sharing the screen, I don't
yes.
have a view of the clock. Sorry for
Hello?
this. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So what is the time? I mean, how
It
much
is
time do we have?
8:44. 8:44. You can take how much session you are planning to take. You can
Another 5 to 7 minutes.
please.
Okay. So these are the major factors which are driving the future of work. Three main categories: technology, globalization, and enviro social. So if we look at the technology, our efficiency has improved, our flexibility is improved. We are able to work from anywhere. We are willing to adopt virtual collaboration. Because of virtual collaboration, I am able to deliver a talk from Mumbai, and then people sitting in Kerala are able to interact with me. And that is how the technology is enabling the Professions, globalization, global workforce. There are companies who have started saying that, okay, fine, please do not come to office. You can continue to work from home. Mobile workforce, people are mobile, they are able to work from anywhere. Many of people have left urban cities and then they have gone back to their native place and they are working, they are programming, they are doing their job from their native place itself. Offshoring, right? uh, Skills are being offshore, outsourced, and that is how offshoring is also driving a lot of new professions in India. India has already a software capital of the world. If we all adopt and then start working in the direction to adopt and master these technologies, I am sure that India can again maintain a lead and then become a technology capital of the world. Enviro-social factors, reverse migration from urban to rural, uniform growth. Earlier, there was a scenario that certain facilities were available only in metro cities, but now up to district level, up to taluka level places, you are able to get decent speed of internet, and that is how we are able to grow uniformly. Political stability, gone are the days when we used to have multiple riots within a year. Now people are also, because of the stability of the political leadership, we are able to peacefully conduct our business and our work. Infrastructure availability, uniform availability of roads. We don't mind traveling 50 to 70 kilometers a day for traveling to our job. So that is how the scenario is changing. It is enabling us to take up the new jobs in the future. This is the list of future jobs in demand in 2021. The list has been published by LinkedIn. So this is not my list. And if you look at the list, nurses, digital content creators, education professionals, healthcare supporting staff would be in high demand. So you can access this list. Just type LinkedIn top 15 in demand jobs in 2021 and you would get this list. What are the top 10 skills in required in 2025? So analytical thinking, active learning, complex problem solving, critical thinking, creativity, leadership and social influence, technology use, technology and design and programming. So this involves UI and UX as well. Resilience, tolerance and flexibility, reasoning, problem solving and ideation. These are the top 10 skills as suggested by World Economic Forum. So having an eye on these 10 skills and getting better on these 10 skills would give you edge on your competitor. These are the jobs which would be disappearing by 2030. We won't need any computer operator, laborers in agriculture sector. Right now also, have you seen any draftsman making engineering drawing using those big boards and then, those pencils and engineering drawing tools? We haven't seen that. Entire profession has been digitized. When was the last time when you walked up to someone to book a ticket for your air travel or even for your train travel? You yourself are able to book ticket and then maintain your travel requirements. Cashiers, bookkeepers, probably we don't need these people. Sewing machine operators, we don't need them, because right now the new clothes are so cheaper that people, if the cloth is torn, people try to buy a new one. Librarian, because of digitization, we may not see books in the library, but the entire digital library may be put on a server. Postal courier sorters, gone are the days when within the post office there were people who were sorting post based on the route of the postman. Now the entire process is getting automated at district level places. So using the GIS maps and the advanced plotting of the route, the entire activity has been taken over by machine. Textile worker, the entire machines are getting so much automation that you don't need any textile worker to manually do certain things. You may not need any taxi drivers even by 2030, because the entire fleets may get automated. You don't need any data logger, any data entry operators, such as you may not need any document storekeepers. We may not earlier in every company, we used to have those documentation control center where we would be depositing the original documents, and that guy is responsible to maintain a library of these documents. But because of digitization, we may not see such kind of manual facilities in our companies. But however, we still have time, and then we can, if we implement these 10 techniques, we would be able to catch up and survive, as well as have an opportunity to thrive in the world ahead. So what are the 10 things we must do? We must write something every day. I mean, because of use of keyboard, computers, and maybe in certain professions, we are not required to write anything. So please make a point to write something every day. Read new books, take classes in music, art. So keep your creative side alive. Take classes in soft skill. Try to learn how to present, and then try any new thing. Work with a mentor. It is good to have a mentor who would help you monitor your progress. I myself mentor a couple of individuals. Teach something to someone. When you try to teach something to someone, even it to your grandkid or maybe to your colleague or even to your friend, you would be preparing, and then that is how your learning curve would improve. Excel in a technology. I have spoken a lot about various technologies today. I don't expect anyone to master every technology, but try to research and then find out a technology of your choice and deep dive. Gone are the days when generalists used to survive. So this is the time when you should pick up a technology and start mastering that technology. Always surf internet with an aim. Don't be a charge electron without any direction. So always make sure that you have certain agenda while you surf the internet. It would help you minimize the wastage of the time. Engage in social media with a purpose. You are not supposed to, I mean, don't have a fear of missing out. If you don't check into Facebook for 2 days, sky is not going to fall down. Rajesh, you can put yourself on mute, please. Learn critical thinking and problem solving skills. There are ways, tools, and techniques which help you analyze problems and help them solve. So try to learn them. The last slide of my talk, today's talk, can be summarized in one word: embrace agility. A stands for adaptability, G stands for growth mindset, I stands for inquisitiveness, L stands for leveraging, I for innovativity, for transformative, and Y is for focus on why. So this is where uh, we are coming to the end of my talk today. I firmly believe early adopters always win. So let us connect, collaborate, and coexist. I have given my LinkedIn ID, my Twitter ID. Please feel free to reach out to me. I would be happy to connect with you and discuss uh, on this topic. Thank you so much. Thanks for your time. Now I am stopping the share of my screen so that we can straight away enter into Q&A session and have a face-to-face conversation. So I would request Dr. Jubilant, if you can just have a look at the chat and see if there are any questions which have been parked in the chat. Else, let us go to individuals, and if you guys can, while you ask the question, if you can put on your camera, that would be really good. So the
Yes.
floor is open. Who goes first?
Thank you, sir. It was a great presentation and it's very inspiring. It was we really had a new idea on new areas where we can explore. And I think there might be much people to ask wonderful questions, and you can ask questions, please.
Sir, very good evening. It was actually incredible. You have taken all of us to the cutting edge borders of life, actually. And I have only one question, rather it's not a question, but it's one aspect. You have taken us all through this technology, And I felt it as a person from social science. I felt it that it is more oriented towards technology. And what would be the human relations, for example, in 2030 or 2040, if technology goes like this? And
Okay.
actually, we are living in 2021, but you have taken up to 2050 and 2060 and even after that. Thank you very much.
Sure. Thank you so much, sir. Indeed, it's an interesting question, and I have got two answers for this. So first, I mean, the two parts of this answer. So first thing is, yes, there are challenges. So let us say while we are implementing AI, and there are unforeseen chances that our hidden biases may get into the system, and that is where ethics in technology and technology in ethics is a focus area. Also, we as Indians, we are a grounded society. So we are, though we are using technology, but we are always Indianizing the use of the technology, and that helps us maintain our relationship. I mean, think of using Facebook and getting connected to your 8th standard classmate and then wishing him a birthday using Facebook. So not only that, but probably I'm sure that most of us have also been to a class reunion, and that is how our society continues to thrive. So even with the rise of technology, it's not going to be that our culture would change drastically. Yes, we would be, right now we are sending bouquet and cake to our brother or our what do you call, our relatives on their birthdays. But with rise of technology, probably we may be sending them a 3D printed cake.
Yeah, very nice.
Right now
Great
we are
example.
buying, we may, it may happen. So instead of buying gold jewelry from Joy Lucas, and then it is a handmade jewelry, probably you may be buying a 3D printed gold earring.
Women may be satisfied with that, I hope.
So we would continue to Indianize the culture and the technology. So Joya Lucas may be selling a 3D printed gold ornament.
So he will still be in business, right?
Sorry.
He will still be in business that way.
Yeah, we would still be in business because women are not going to stop buying gold.
That's true. Okay. Okay. So thank you, sir, for the inspiring talk and really inspiring. My question is, how prepared are we? You said these changes are happening very fast, and maybe on a scale of 1 to 10, where are we now? Maybe the
We are at 4.
Yeah.
We are at 4, or even 3 even.
Oh my God. Okay.
Because the reason is the current lot of people who are passing out are not exposed to any of these technologies.
Okay.
I'll tell you example of my family. My cousin brother has finished BTech computer science from a well-known college in Bangalore,
Yeah.
and then he's working as an iPhone app developer. So if his aim was to develop apps for iPhone, then why did he invested his time of 4 years in engineering? Probably he would have, after 12th, he would have become a iPhone app developer itself.
Yes.
Absolutely correct.
Right. So these are the kind of, misalignment between the industry demand and the current education system, so that the pass outs are not able to get into the industry. And then that is how they have to undergo certain bridge courses also. Like, I mean, our current curriculum is not at all aligned with data science.
Okay.
If you want to take up a assignment as an analyst or a data engineer, then you are required to undergo additional qualification.
Okay. Thank
And in
you.
fact, with that view only, Google is trying to come up with a new schema altogether. They don't believe in degrees anymore. They say that here is a course, this is the job, this is the course, you finish it and take the job. That's about it.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, that's great answers from Chintanji. Any more questions from?
Can I?
Please.
Yes, I want to supplement Dr. Murli Vallabhan as well as Karnakan. The first point is, Murali asked whether how the human relations can be adjusted. In the presentation, there was a topic DNA editing. And I say that by proper DNA editing, it can be achieved. Then Karanakan told that his expectations are too fast. I agree with him because by 2030, he predicted that so many changes will come. It is too exponential scale, I think. Anyhow, the presentation was fantastic. I liked it very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Any more questions?
So, hi.
Yes, Rajesh ji, please.
Hi, I'd like to resonate a point for people out here. So, I'm in the industry since last 30 years, and I'm being seeing and handling technology transformation, especially in the media and entertainment. 20, 25 years back, when the first internet came, nobody could imagine that we will be running ads. A 30-second ad was a real struggle, and we were standing there at the time of these things being happening at the crossroad of destiny. And I stood there and saw that how what a struggle it was to get the ads to work. 30 seconds, then the movies came, and now streaming has come. So the point I'm trying to make is change is definite. There is no doubt about it. Now it's up to other people around, the existing people, to adopt it, to adapt it. If they don't, then they will perish, unfortunately. Then there are other sets of people who are coming in. Now they are the people who have got fresh minds. So they quickly try to learn and they adapt. And they adapt and get into it. Now let me give you one small and fast practical example. No longer reconciliation jobs are being done by humans. So good companies have already started using something called robots at the software level basis, which is free to use, and they can use these small programs and run them on the individual computers. It's like you would like to reconcile your bank statement with some other transactions that you have. So somebody, for example, if you have a demat transactions which is coming to you, which is online, and you have a bank statements coming to you online, the computer can do the reconciliation, give it to you. You now become a checker. You now become an approver. That is the kind of evolution that is happening. That's all I'd like to say for now. Trust I'm able to articulate. Thank you.
Yeah, and
Thank
in
you, Mr.
fact,
Rajesh.
I would like to add here. Recently, I read one article that a chartered accountant, a startup owner, female, under 30, she has developed algorithms to complete the audit of entire firm of 1,000 crore in less than 30 minutes time. So she has prepared various scripts and programs which starts fetching up the data from various servers and folders of the customer, does the reconciliation, and within 30 minutes of time the entire audit report is prepared. So that is where the world is moving. And she conducted this audit. I'll try to share that link with Dr. Jubilant. So I mean, the people and the students who are learning are also able to make difference in their profession.
Okay, so any more questions? Okay, I think a wonderful session is coming to an end, and nobody is having much more questions. Sincere thanks to Chintan for a wonderful presentation, and I request Colonel V.N.K. Achari, our Secretary Programs, Pala Management Association, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Thank you very much, sir. Our respected President, the Secretary General, our Chief Guest, Mr. Chintan OZA, all officials, members, and the guests today being present here in the event. Today we had a wonderful session of this month, wherein we had a chief guest, Mr. Chintan OZA, who had, it is evident that he has done a very big sort of research on this issue of future of jobs and how the jobs are going to be fade out when the time, as the time moves, and also how jobs and why they are to be created further, because we cannot exist without job. That is a time that has come. So he spared no time in giving us such a beautiful, educative, informative insight into the future of jobs. Job in all spheres of life, whether it is scientific, whether it is technological, whether it is life, whether it is environmental, where it is your biological, whatever, all fields and spheres he has covered. And it is evident that such a vast sphere of research he has done in this event. Why new jobs are to be created? He has gone beyond number of years. He has gone decades, gone beyond the decades to tell us what are the jobs available now, what are going to be faded out, how the jobs are going to be created, who are responsible to create these jobs, and how these jobs are going to come to us, or how we are going to adapt to these particular situations and environment of these jobs. All these things he has covered. A fantastic sort of session that we had today. On behalf of the Pala Management Association and all the members, officials, and guests present here today, I would like to thank Mr. OZA for the wonderful insight that he has given to us. It has been a good inspiration to us, and it was an eye opener as to why we should be adapting to the jobs. Are we going to rest? Or once we retire, are we going to rest? Aren't we going to work till end of our last breath? We are going to work. We will not be retiring. Like in I am from the defense. There's a saying also: an army officer doesn't retire. He retires at the last breath. That is what it is. Let me also thank the President, the Secretary General, all officials and the members and the guests also who are present today for being with us and also making this session such a lively sort of interactive session and clearing all the questions, doubts. Mr. OZA has been so kind to clear all the doubts and the questions and giving us such a wonderful sort of time to be with you, sir. And let me thank on behalf of Pala Management Association, Mr. OZA, the wonderful sort of time that we had. You spared your valuable time and be with us, and you have been with us and tell us about the such a it is I will not say it is a dangerous sort of future going to come up, but it was wonderful, and we could never think of these type of things in situation could come up. Let me also thank all the officials who have been involved in arranging this session today for this particular event today. And let me thank once again Mr. OZA, all the members, all the officials, all the guests who are present today for this wonderful event. Thank you so much. Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's my pleasure to be part of this event. Thank you so much. Namaskar.
Thank you. Chintan
You
OZA,
have
sir.
made this evening remarkable.
Yeah, wonderful, sir.
Thank you for the great session, sir. Thank you. Okay, let us leave. Chintanji, bye. Bye all. Thank you.